Good evening, everyone. Welcome to TCS ION webinar on transforming internships the digital ways. This is Darshan, head of marketing of Education Transformation Unit at TCS ION. Now, I would like to introduce our business unit head, Krishnan CA. Krishnan CA is our business unit head for education at TCS ION. He carries rich experience across geographies in the US, Europe, and in India, working closely with Fortune 500 clients across industry verticals such as banking, telecom, manufacturing, retail, and education. Krishnan has held several leadership positions in strategy, business development, delivery, and products, and has been part of TCS ION right from its inception. With a keen understanding of client priorities and a deep domain knowledge of key industries, he has conceptualized several new products, platforms, and services in data consultancy services, and has helped global clients reimagine their business and drive value creation for their consumers. Welcome, Krishnan. Over to you.
Thank you, Darshan, and good evening to all the decision makers from academia, our strategic partners who have joined us today for this webinar on transforming internship. I want to use this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all of you for taking time off this evening. TCS ION, we have been working very closely with the education sector in this time of crisis for many months now to see how we can play an important role in supporting the community, students, academic institutions, and also corporates who are looking to hire top talent from the market. And in this regard, we've been working distinctly on 4 key dimensions. One is the learning dimension, which is heart and soul of the education sector. Second, the assessment dimension, which includes both admission assessment as well as summative and formative assessments. The third key dimension that we've been working on is jobs and internship, and we're going to talk a lot more about it today. And the final dimensions being operations dimension. At the outset, I just thought it might be very relevant to talk a little bit on each of these dimensions so that each of you can get a much broader context on not just how we are working with educational institutions, but also on how each of these dimensions are reinforcing each other. So let me take a couple of minutes on each one of them. The first and the foremost is learning dimension. Today, we have more than 8 million learners on our platform, over 50,000 courses. And our intent is to ensure that quality education is not restricted for just a few students. It should be accessible to everyone through technology. And most importantly, it should be education that empowers and is industry relevant. So while we do talk, we are going to talk about internship today. We have taken care that our internship has embedded learning component, which makes it easier for students to get the skill that is required so that they can perform in their internship and satisfaction of the corporates. A very important part about this, because there are a lot of content that is freely available today in the market. So one of the ways in which we are differentiating on this learning dimension is to embed methods and practices that will make sure that students are finding the courses, the learning materials highly relevant, so that they not just complete the program, but also gain strong experiential knowledge to be able to apply that learning in a way that the industry wants. So that's a very key focus area for us. And even the recent national education policy talks about experiential learning to a large extent. We have incorporated it in the design of our learning programs. The second key dimension where we have played a very important role over many years now is assessment, as you all might be aware, and many of you might be partners to us on this front. Today, TCS ION conducts some of the largest assessments in the country, the likes of CAT exam, banking exam through IBPS, railway recruitment exam through Railway Recruitment Board. We have till date conducted over 200 billion assessments. And assessments is about adding credibility to students and to colleges who are using our platform, and ensure that that credibility carries over when the student is going to a corporate. And I'm talking specifically here the certification exams that we do. And in this time of crisis, what we have also done is to be able to conduct the assessments with social distancing norm, as well as remotely to strong proctors. And this experience of over 10 years has taught us that it is not just the technology that is important. It is the process, it is the experience of students, and ensuring that we see ahead and eliminate any kind of malpractices, both from a technology as well as process perspective. And why this assessment is an important dimension to talk about when it comes to education transformation is that assessment lends credibility to the learning programs. And given the platform, given the partnership, given the technology that we carry, we want to ensure that whatever we do has a strong amount of credibility attached to it. The third dimension is what I would call as outcome linkage. Learning without context is incomplete. And in that regard, what we are doing is bringing a large set of jobs and internships that students can aspire for as an outcome to the internship and learning that students are doing. We're going to talk a lot about internship today, but what we have done is to ensure that internships are carried forward in a very process-oriented and structured fashion, so that students are well guided, their experiences are positive, and they use this opportunity to build the right mentors within the industry that will hold them in good stead as they look to their future. One of the key interventions that we did make in this dimension was to launch the Career Skills program a few months back. And we have more than 7 lakh students who have actively leveraged it and built the skills that the industry requires. And today's conversation is all about how we are going to transform internship, which is a key component in this larger canvas of transformation that we're bringing to market. The last transformation that I want to emphasize on is operations transformation. I'm happy to announce that over the last few months, we have 20,000 institutions who have signed up for using our digital classroom solution, and we are supporting them so that they can continue their operations uninterrupted. What we bring is rapid automation and digitization, and given the current crisis, that has accelerated multifold amongst our partner institutions. This key dimension is very important because there is one thing that technology adoption has to be considered, is the fact that how do we bring best practices, global best practices, and embed it into the operations of an organization and support them, because again, as in the case of assessment or any other dimension, it is just not the technology, but it is also the process and the people that support its adoption that makes it a critical success factor while organizations choose the right partner. So with that, I want to again reemphasize that all these dimensions of transformations are reinforcing each other. Organizations, institutions who are adopting our digital classroom solutions will find it much more easier to adopt some of our learning transformation. Similarly, the jobs and internship transformation that we're going to talk about today has embedded learning and assessment into it, so that students are not just getting an exposure to the industry, but they also are getting a supportive learning component, which will only make sure that they have the critical skills required to succeed in the internship. So with that, I request all of you to pay close attention. We have a very deep dive session by our by Ram Kumar in terms of what remote internship is all about. We're going to talk and show you some key aspects about the student experience. And finally, we're going to touch upon how can we move ahead so that we can join hands to take some of this transformation, internship transformation specifically today, to students and create an impact. With that, let me hand it over back to Darshan.
Thank you, Krishnan. So with this, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Sridharan Kannan. So Sridharan Kannan is a program manager at TCS ION, and Kannan will take us through the remote internships overview and the product walkthrough. Over to you, Kannan.
Thanks, Wilson. Good evening, everyone. Kannan here. It gives me immense pleasure to get virtually connected to you all to talk about TCS ION remote internships. We launched remote internships, referred as RIO in short, on May 12th of this year. It was an outcome of a lot of concerted effort from TCS ION teams to address various challenges in front of students in the higher education segment that were posed by the pandemic. We did a market validation to understand what we can do to enable the students to continue to do their internship. There were constraints to doing the internship within the four walls of corporate offices, and the lack of structured approach to doing the internship. They were the primary factors for us to put together RIO. The next slide, please. Our objective here is to leverage digital platform to benefit large number of students across various streams to do location-free internships in trending topics. Our promises are guaranteed internship for every applicant in their project of choice. Projects are curated in trending topics that can be done anytime, anywhere, from any device. We can move on to the next slide. Next slide. This slide gives you a perspective of what happens during the 3 stages of internship. Prior to doing the internship, during the internship, and after doing the internship. Blocks that you see at the bottom, they are the various ION platform levers we are putting to use for remote internship. Prior to joining an internship, we are working behind the scenes in aggregating a lot of projects and creating a large number of repositories. At this point in time, we have 160 plus projects, and we are adding more on a day-to-day basis. What happens is when students register, they end up filling some details here, and they select the project they would like to subscribe to. And subsequently they are subscribed to the particular internship. That's what happens during the internship, prior to the internship. During the internship, they stay connected to an industry mentor through something we call as digital discussion room stroke community. So the mentors handhold the students in going ahead with the project and complete it on time. And not only that, students get an opportunity to collaborate with their peers in this particular forum where they can, which will facilitate collaborative learning. They can share their ideas, so on and so forth. We'll see more of it as we see the product. Post internship, they will be given a certificate on successful completion. They can work with the academic institutes to claim their academic credits depending on the Rio variant that they have signed up for. And of course, it provides them a great opportunity and credence to add to their profile in their search for job opportunities. Can we move to the next slide? We have put together 3 variants in Rio to cater to 1 credit, 3 credit, and 5 credits. And Rio construct, if you look at, is additive in nature. What I mean by that is all elements in Rio 45 will be part of Rio 125. Likewise, all that is part of Rio 125 will be part of Rio 210. And if you take a closer look at it, it will bring out the structured approach that's built in the variants to do the internships. And also, if you notice, these variants do have industry projects of incremental scope and effort. What you see out there at the bottom of the slide is the MRP. In Rio 45, there will be an industry project worth 15 hours of effort. We provide project reference materials that are self-learning materials, which will aid the student to gather the concepts and the information required to start working on the project. During the course of the internship, they will have access to the mentors, as I explained to you, from whom they can seek guidance to progress and complete the internship. Students can also communicate with their peers and reap the benefits of collaborative learning. As I told you, this access is facilitated through, we call this as digital discussion room. We can also call it as community. Students record their efforts towards the learning, project work, and daily activity reports. And then they submit it in our platform for mentors review. On completion of the project work, students will submit their project report for evaluation by the industry mentor. Subsequently, students will have to work with their academic mentors from their institutes to get their Viva completed, and the feedback they receive from the academic mentor can be submitted as Viva report in our platform to mark the completion of it. And we also have a self-assessment on the internship topic. So those are the different elements that you see in Rio 45 construct. And if you notice, all these components are there in Rio 125 as well. Additional component is the webinar in the case of Rio 125. And of course, there is increase in the number of hours for the industry project. Likewise, Rio 210, it has all the components, and the difference is we have introduced industry readiness skills. This is an additional learning module that will help the student understand and develop personal behavioral skills which are essential for workplace success. We can go to the next slide. So in this slide, we want to touch upon the uniqueness of Rio, especially for students and the educational institutes. From a student perspective, Rio offers access to very large number of projects on various trending topics across technology and business domains. Provides an opportunity to break free from the physical walls of corporates and do the internship anytime, anywhere. It also provides an ability to do this internship throughout the year at the comfort of students' home. From an institution's perspective, RIO provides an opportunity to achieve 100% internship support for their students throughout the year. And since we have aligned RIO to AICT and UGC guidelines, students may also be awarded academic credit depending on the RIO variant ability. Yeah, we can move on to the next slide. What you see here is a quick information on a pre-internship test, as soon as a student subscribes to an internship, after they go through the initial briefing of how the internship is structured, they will have to take this baseline knowledge test, which is for 40 questions, and it's kind of, we have kept this as mostly, you can call this as unlimited attempts. Close to 99 attempts we have given, so that it also gives an opportunity for the students to understand where they stand with respect to some of these aspects. And once they clear this, they will get access to the rest of the internship activities, and they can move on with doing the project.
Kannan, Darshan here. I think your voice is a little feeble. Can you be a little louder, please?
Is it better now?
Yeah, definitely better. Yeah,
should I repeat this, or okay? All right.
Go ahead.
I'll cover this in detail when we are seeing the product construct. Darshan, we can move on. Yeah. So this slide summarizes RIO value proposition. In nutshell, what it provides is access to large number of projects to choose from, projects on trending topics, then location or device independent approach to gaining industry exposure, standardized structure to doing internship, enabling uniform process for award of credits, and of course alignment to AICT and UGC guidelines. So these are the summarized value proposition that I wanted to highlight to you. Yeah. Go to the next slide. Darshan, can you move to the next slide? Yeah. What we have tried to highlight here is the process for registering for RIO for the students who are routing their registrations through the institutes. What we have done is we have bundled all the RIO 45 projects under RIO 45, likewise for the other two variants. If an institute says, I need, say, 200 licenses of RIO 45, we provide those licenses for 200 numbers, and students, they can come into our platform, they can activate their license, at which point they can choose the project of their choice. But of course, what we have done is we have also facilitated a form in which we have highlighted all the projects which are available with us. So colleges can request their students to capture their interest, aggregate it, and get an idea of how many of the licenses are required for each variant, basis which we can work on enabling the registration process for the students. And that's what I have tried to capture in this slide. We can move on. what we have tried to do cover here as part of this slide is, we anticipate there could be certain questions, and we will try our best to cover as many as we can. I leave it to you to read the question there. I'll for the first question, let me give you a response. Yes, the internship projects that we provide, they are across both technology and business domains. The technology projects span across topics including AI, machine learning, DevOps, RPA, blockchain, cloud, so on and so forth, with the intent of giving students an exposure to trending technologies through related industry mentors. The business domain topics cover banking, automotive, education, talent management, marketing, EdTech, product management, finance and economy, so on and so forth, giving an opportunity to understand and contribute towards real-life scenarios and problems. We are frequently curating considerable number of internship projects across technology and business domains. The applicability of these internships will address the needs of graduates from engineering, commerce, science, and business streams. Coming to second question. TCS has instituted centers of excellence for various industries and domains, which is a result of having provided technology consulting over many decades to companies across the spectrum. We tap to that expertise to provide internship in other streams as well. Having said that, in terms of industry partnerships, as I highlighted, we have a first batch of 160 plus internship projects and experts for currently from TCS ION on supporting these internships. We are onboarding a number of interested corporates across various domains to connect with students on running internships leveraging our digital platform in a remote model. Next question, our responses. Objective of remote internships is to provide students an exposure to the trending topics and domains through the industry mentors. So that's applicable to all our industry partners, including the ones that provide maybe mechanical domain or electrical domain or whatever domain the industry partner is willing to provide the internship for any non-IT related internships. And having said that, every company have their own recruitment and hiring policies which would govern their recruitment process. Next question. I'm just giving a pause so that you can read the question. Okay. See again, RIO is a digital internship program. It is aligned with the AICTE and UGC guidelines so that on successful completion, students can claim their academic credits. And of course, this is apart from the exposure they get from working in industry relevant challenges. RIO is not linked to TCS fresher recruitment process in any way, and therefore no special weightage will be given during the recruitment. However, I must say the exposure will help the students to leap forward in their learning, add to their credits, calibrate their ability, and quickly adapt to the corporate job demands. Next question. I think I already explained, but I'll repeat. The pre-project test is actually a general aptitude test
which a student has to clear before taking up the internship related activities. However, we have provided up to 99 attempts to clear the test, and we have not come across any instance where student is not able to clear it. Yeah. Next question. See, all the projects we have defined with a set of prerequisites along with recommended for streams. Whatever projects that are currently available for consumption by students, they are available for multiple streams, including BA, BTech, BBA, BSc, MBA. Students can definitely refer to these details, which are available in our webpage, before subscribing to internship project of their choice. However, we do not restrict any student from choosing an internship as long as they are taking an informed decision and they are comfortable doing that. Last question, how can students manage internship during regular college work? Again, it's a digital internship program, so it provides an ability for the students to undergo a structured program from anywhere, anytime, using any device. And it's available throughout the year. Students can pace their progress based on their schedule. What we have done is we have considered extra time for students in each of the Rio variant to accommodate for any potential delays in progression. For example, if I take Rio 125, it is structured for 125 hours of internship. However, the access is available for 90 calendar days from the subscription. What we recommend to the students is to seek guidance from the industry mentor early in the cycle, and then they can pace their work in the way that is comfortable to them, so long as they complete 90 days. Our experience says that it's it's good enough time, even considering potential delays during the internship validity. That I think covers all the questions, so we can move to the next. Darshan?
Yeah. Yes, Kannan, now you will do the product walkthrough.
Okay, let me log into the system. Meanwhile, if you want to share.
Yeah, so Yash, you can stop sharing the screen. Yeah, Kannan. So you would want to play the testimonial and then start off, Kannan?
Sure. You want me to play that? Okay. Just a minute. I think I'll cover this and then play it, Darshan, if you don't mind.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. What I have done is I have just logged into our platform. I just wanted to quickly give you a feel of how the program is structured and what students would get to see here on the platform. As soon as the student registers and activates his license for the remote internship, they can sign in and access the digital internship through my dashboard. I have already landed here. You might see it here. Depending on the Rio variant they have subscribed, they will see either one course batch or two course batches. In the case of Rio 45, they will see one. In the case of Rio 125 also, they will see one. I am demonstrating this for Rio 210, which is the comprehensive variant. So there will be two such course batches. Just a minute.
Kannan?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm there. I'm just
Yeah,
waiting
can
for
you
this
voice
to,
is feeble, Kannan?
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think you'll have to speak little louder.
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah, now it's fine.
I'm not sure. Maybe I need to just log out and log in, Darshan. Is it audible now?
Yes, Kannan. Go ahead, please.
Okay. While this is coming up, Ayush, would you like to bring up that slide that I have shared with you?
Hope you are able to.
Yeah, I'm able to see that.
You're able
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, can you just move to the next slide? Yeah, so I was just explaining to you that in the case of Rio 210, there will be two course batches. One is for the industry readiness skills that I talked about, which is nothing but the personal behavioral skills, which is available only in this variant, and that's available as a separate course. And then the Rio structured program, which is available as the second line item in this screen. Can we just move to the next slide? Yeah. So what you see here on the left-hand side, this is the structure to the program. As soon as the student comes onto this platform, what they get to see is a day-wise plan, which actually gives them an overview of all the nodes that they are seeing on the left-hand side here, explaining what is project reference material, what is industry project node, project report, industry readiness skills, recorded webinars, so on and so forth. So it kind of gives them an idea of all this. And then it also, we can move to the next slide. And also it gives them an idea of how a student can plan their availability. What I mean by that is this is actually not prescriptive. This is only suggestive. It will help the student to plan their availability and pace their activities. It gives them an idea on how many hours they may need to set aside. Again, this is not cast in stone. It is suggestive. Kind of it will help the student to set aside some time and plan their activities. However, we have experienced that some students are able to spend more time, some less time, but we have considered something which is reasonable to complete within the scheduled time of 10 days or 30 days or 45 days, which are required for the three different variants. We can move to the next slide. Yeah, industry project node will have detail of what the project is all about. It gives students an idea of what the objective of this internship project is and how to go about doing that internship. It's given in the form of guidelines for them. And then it also highlights what is the outcome expected to be achieved as part of this internship. That's what they get to see here immediately after they clear the pre-project test, the objective questions that I talked about. Subsequent to that, they will be able to immediately see this and the rest of the nodes. We can move on to the next slide. Yeah, so so this is the project reference material that we talked about, where it gives a lot of learning content references which are available in the public domain, which will help the students to get the required concepts and get started with the internship and the suggestion to the students, which is outlined in the as part of their induction, is they need to go through the project description, and subsequently they can start reading through these materials, which will help them to make some headway in the project. And to support additional learning, we do have recorded webinars, as I explained to you, which are available only in the case of 30125 and 210. And these webinars are already taken by the industry experts, and they are recorded and made available for the students. They can also provide the required knowledge and supplement information for students to proceed with the internship. Wherever they are stuck, when students do have some issues, they do have some questions, they can get into the digital discussion room and post their questions to the mentor, share some of their learnings with the peers, or sometimes they can even provide solution to their peers. And that's what gets achieved through this digital discussion room. And what you see here on the bottom left are the daily activity report notes, where students will have to go and record the progress they are making in the project with respect to their learning, with respect to whatever they have achieved, and the effort that they are putting in. These activities are getting captured, which are available for references later. I talked about the industry readiness skills. On the left-hand side, I have highlighted the various skills which are packaged as part of this learning course. It's about 20 hours of learning for the students, and they can go through this at their own pace. Again, this access of this is available for the entire duration of the internship. Please move to the next slide. This is where this slide gives you a feel of digital discussion room or the community. What you see here in highlighted is a whiteboard. Here there is a scrolling set of messages where we have pinned some of the important messages for the students. For example, once students come here, if they want to know who their mentor is, they will be able to identify the member who has a badge over there. If you see on the right side, just above B, there is a badge. So Bhushan is the mentor, industry mentor for this particular community. Likewise, we do have a lot of information which are pinned here on the community, which acts as a reference for students. And what we also do is, apart from user help, apart from any frequently asked questions, any other process related doubts that they have, everything is available here for their reference, over and above any other additional information which is available based on our experience. Where students seem to struggle, we kind of put those as additional information here for them to go through and then get going with the project. What you see on the top right here, just below the post, there are 10 different enablers, we call it. These are available for both mentors and students. For example, blog. Mentors use it to write a blog with images, text, hyperlink, whatever, to give some direction to the student. Byte is used to share some thoughts or small learning bytes, which are very short in nature, maybe about 140 characters or less. And these are again used by mentors to keep giving some information to the students to keep them engaged over the course of the internship. Debate, again, mentor can use this to find pros and cons of a particular approach. What they can do is they can give debate for and debate against statements, which enable the students to register their views, understand others' perspectives, and further deepen and broaden their own understanding. Event enabler, it is generally used to post any schedules in the calendar. For example, whenever any additional webinars get organized, they are posted as an event here for students to see. Idea enabler, as I said, students could use this to share their ideas, any innovation, any improvement they have come across in their project, and some of the students may use this to solve the issues of their peers as well. Media, it allows dragging, dropping images, videos, files from the desktop, so mentors use it to share some project-related artifacts here. Question, very frequently used. That's used again by the students to ask doubts or queries to the industry mentor. Mentors can use the quiz enabler. It facilitates single, multiple choice, true or false kind of questions there. Survey, we use it to get feedback from the community members to understand where we need to improve our delivery of this remote internship. User poll, it's generally used to know the opinion of community members on any specific topics. So these are various enablers which are available to make it very interactive, very engaging for the students, and this is how they stay connected with their mentors and the peers. So what you're seeing here, while I talked about how the industry mentor and students collaborate in carrying out the internship project, for students to do their Viva, what we have done is we have developed a web page where academic mentors can come in here, log in. Of course, we share the login credentials in an email with the academic mentors. They can come in here, log in, and then once they log in, they get to see all the students that they are mentoring. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So
Kannan, I think in the interest of time, if you can wrap up in the next minute or so. Kannan? Ayush, can you hear me?
I think Darshan Kannan connectivity is poor, I guess.
Yeah, maybe some internet issue at his hand.
So maybe Ram Kumar, if you can just would like to.
Yeah, Ram, if you can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Ram.
So, yeah, you can move to the next slide. So these are basically a set of reports that are coming out based on the student details. So the mentors can review this and give their scores and give their feedback also. So this is the way daily activities are getting monitored by the mentors. Feedbacks are provided. Move on, please. Can you move to the next slide, Ayush? So finally, once the project is completed, the students get a certificate. The certificate looks like this. And it will tell the number of hours the student has worked on the project, what is the project title, the duration, and so on. And will be issued. It is a digitally verifiable certificate. It can be used across multiple places, whether when they go for any jobs or higher education, this can be used. This is in short on remote internships. Go next.
Yeah, thanks, Ram. So now I would like to invite Ravindra Kembavi, our Chief Education Evangelist. to talk about the way forward and the next steps. Rajesh, if you can put up that slide. Ravi, over to you.
Thanks, Darshan. Thanks, Darshan. In the interest of time, I'll run quickly, and I want all the questions which academia has. Probably we can answer them. Students also are asking some questions. We can answer them. So very quickly, the next steps. I mean, if you really look at the importance of internship, I need not mention more about it. So any hiring that happens today, the prospective employer looks for the kind of experience what a student would have gained during the graduation in terms of internship and all. So here is an opportunity for you as an institution head to advise your students to go in for a reputed certificate from TCS, wherein they can showcase that into their curriculum, into their resume. So I mean, these Rio internship programs are designed as per AICTE and UGC guidelines, as my colleagues explained in previous slides. So that is institute where, I mean, as an institute, you can look forward for having all your students to go in for a kind of internship which we are providing. Right, and it also, I mean, we are also offering, as we mentioned earlier, that there is an opportunity for each and every student to gain internship. So we are not rejecting any student, whether or whatever could be the academic background. So we are giving a complete opportunity for students to gain industry experience, so that they can excel in their career. So the next steps for an institute to do is to make probably, this is our recommended model, to make remote internship from TCS mandatory for all your students. That's a recommended model. But you can also buy in bulk for your students. That's another model, right, which you can look for. My team will connect with all the institutions who have participated today and who have registered today. And we'll share the relevant set of documents wherein you can register and then go in for these internships. So of course there is a special offer for institutions to buy in bulk, which we have opened it up till 15th of August. So kindly go for it, and then make maximum out of it for your students. Yeah, and you can also reach out to us at the address which is appearing below, contact.tcsign.com for any further details. And I would request Darshan to open up a polling. I guess he has already opened it up. So kindly fill in the polling so that will give us a lot of insights about how you would like to go in for. And post that, let us also open questions from you all. We'll take all those questions. So over to you, Darshan.
Thanks, Ravi. So the polling is open. Request all of you to take the poll and do provide your inputs to us. So we have opened up for Q&A. Do submit your questions in the Q&A window. So we'll start taking questions from the Q&A window. Yeah, so the first question for BTech stream, which year students are eligible for internship? Should he or she required to have any prerequisite domain knowledge for the same?
Ram, would you like to take this question, please?
Ram?
Can you repeat it? Can you please repeat? What is the question?
Yeah, for BTech stream, which year students are eligible for internship?
Yes, Darshan, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, yes, I'm repeating, Ram. For BTech stream, which year students are eligible for
Second year,
internship?
third year, and fourth year students can do this. The variety of projects depends on their interest. They can pick it.
And is there any prerequisite domain knowledge for internships?
Actually not. It depends on their stream and skill set. They can pick up the topics because the topics are widespread across different streams within engineering, non-engineering. So many topics are there. So the students starting from second year onwards, they can pick up and choose any stream or project that are relevant to them, and they can continue.
Okay.
So it's applicable to even MCA, BBA, MBA types of students. So it's not just restricts to engineering.
Yeah. Thanks, Ram. Yeah. So as mentioned earlier, please ask your questions in the Q&A window. So we are taking questions from the Q&A window, which is on your bottom right-hand side corner. Right. So the next question is, how can students go for remote internship without affecting their study in the current system?
That's a very valid, wonderful question, Darshan. Let us quickly say the biggest differentiator or uniqueness of this program itself. It is you can do it from anywhere, anytime, through any device, and there is no structured timeline that is fixed to this. Especially only the project timelines are structured, but it is at the freedom of the student or the learner. So even if they are attending classes, they can pick and choose the time that is convenient to spend on, and they can continue at their own pace.
Yeah. The next question is, what type of internships are available for civil, mechanical, electrical, electronic engineers? And there is also a follow-up question, even from a diploma perspective. I think what projects and internships they can do.
As I said, the project is into a variety of streams and domains and technology. My suggestion is let them visit the website, choose the projects of their interest, go through. There's a brief description on every project has been given. Based on their interest, they will be in a position to continue. But there is a scope for every stream, domain, and technology to work on.
Yeah, thanks, Ram. I think there are a lot of questions on how to onboard the institute, and most of them say they are not able to figure out the process. So can we explain the B2B model of onboarding institutes again, please?
Yeah, I'll take that question. So the model would be that we will get connected with you. So you can write to us on enquiry.tcsion.com and at enquiry.tcsion@tcs.com. Kindly write to us on that. And also we have list of institutes where we have connected with. So we'll touch base with you. My team will get in touch with you to share you the complete details about RIO program, RIO initiative by us. And we will onboard you in the sense that we will create credentials for you as an institute onto our platform, wherein you can come and buy the required number of licenses for your students.
Yeah, thanks, Ravi. Yes, the next question is, how can our students whose medium is not English, how can they do internship?
Yeah, it's a very good point. Can you hear me, Darshan? Okay.
Yes, Ram. Yeah, please go ahead.
It's a very good point. Right now, the medium of education or learning happens in English only. So it's a good time. And there is also an industry readiness course which is part of this program itself, which grooms the students when they go for interview and face a corporate team. So it's a good time, the opportunity for the students to learn the subjects in English. So yeah, it's a very good point. Right now it's available in English. Helps the students to learn English and then further continue.
Yeah. So the next question is any stipend paid for students who complete their internships?
No, Darshan. Right now there is no stipend paid. the future, there could be some corporates joining hands and they may be willing to. Right now, the projects do not have that.
The next question is, how can students connect with their industry mentor and discuss and plan the internship with them?
Yeah. So the student, either if they are coming through the institution, reach out to the institution and get registered in our platform. And once they buy the respective project, the first set of activities will be an introduction or an invitation comes from us through email, and then they will be part of the digital discussion room, which is a digital community. So that's the place where all the students meet the respective mentor virtually and start engaging with them frequently to get their queries clarified.
Yeah, a related question to that is, how will the industry mentor benefit from this overall exercise?
Industry mentors, they are all basically, this is part of their regular job opportunity, right? Any industry mentor in a normal scenario in internships, how are they benefited? So they are providing certain challenges. They are expecting their students to crack those challenges. They will provide the required guidelines. So the solutions that are coming out, if they are good enough, then from the industry perspective, they can implement those and see how it works out to remove those challenges. These are the benefit from the industry mentor perspective.
Yeah, just to add on to Ram's point, typically, when industry offers internship, it is also an opportunity for recruiters, potential managers to ascertain the students' capability. So that's another benefit, because you get to work with the students and understand how they think. So clearly that is also an added benefit as we look to hire new talent, as we have already got exposed to them. Many times while recruiting, it is just the interview that counts. So that's a possible added benefit for industry mentors, apart from the the ability to take part in mentoring students, which also a lot of, I know personally too, it gives a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah, the next question is, what kind of internships are available on trending topics?
We have all this IoT, AI, ML, all latest trending technology topics are available. The best suggestion is the students or the institutions to visit the portal, look at the list of programs and skills that are available, and we can choose their preferences from there.
Yeah, the next question is the study material part of the internship when the students take it?
There is an industry readiness course which is offered as part of this program itself, especially for the DO 210 variant. So where the course materials are part of the course itself. So students can go through those courses and get benefit.
Yeah, so I see a repeated question on the degrees, or basically students from which degrees, including MBA, can they take internships from TCS Ion? Maybe if we can clarify that, I think it'll help.
Yeah, so all streams are eligible. Engineering, non-engineering streams like science, arts, commerce, management, can be from any stream. Student can take up, a BBA student can work on this, commerce student can work on it, MBA student can work on it, MCA students can work on it. They just have to pick and choose the right set of areas they want to work and go for it.
Okay, so the next question is a job opportunity available after completion of this internship?
This internship program is predominantly not in the respect of creating a job opportunity. The intention of this program itself to ensure that the students are able to complete the AICT norms or UGC norms. As part of their regular curriculum, the students have to undergo an internship program, a summer internship or a winter internship as part of their curriculum. So what we have decided is let us come out with such projects and make the students comfortable to do the projects from wherever they are and ensure they are able to complete and get the academic credits. But of course, yes, we are coming out in the future with a job portal where we can students can create their own profiles and get access to many of other openings and use that as well.
Yeah. So the next question is, can a mechanical engineering engineer get a programming domain internship?
It depends on the student's interest and flavor. If the student is very keen, see, we have a lot of civil engineers, mechanical engineers working and building a career in IT companies. So the student has an interest to learn coding and things like that. They can also, but we do not enforce or force them.
Yeah, I think we are already over time. So Krishnan, any closing comments from you? So yeah, so before that, please do write to us if you have. We've tried our best to answer most of the questions. So please do write to us if you have any further queries on enquiry.tcsion@tcs.com. So Krishnan, over to you for your closing comments.
Sure. So thanks to the academic community who have joined us today. I really appreciate you taking the time off to be with us to understand what internships is all about and how we are transforming, not just from an internship perspective, but from an overall holistic perspective. One of the comments that I just want to leave you with looking at the questions is what we have really done is to look at the student experience when it comes to internship and created a structure, learning support around it, and ensured that relevant projects and strong industry mentors are becoming a part of this program. And I would definitely encourage all the academic institutions as well as students to reach out to the academic institution to see to that you are able to leverage this platform that we have created for the education ecosystem fully. I know there are many more questions, but our intent during this webinar was to be able to answer most of them. So do write to us, and as Ravi mentioned, our teams will ensure that your questions are holistically answered so that we can join hands to transform the education sector and deliver benefits to students so that they can be successful in their career. And internship is definitely going to play a very important role in that overarching goal. With that, thanks a lot once again for joining us today. We will sign off right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Krishnan. Thank you all for joining in. We look forward for your queries, if any, on our email ID. Please do write to us, and definitely we'll be in touch. Thank you all for joining in.